Palpation of lymph nodes involve the cervical chain, the axillary, the lymph nodes in the limbs, lymph nodes in the abdomen, and of course the inguinal lymph nodes. In the cervical region, there is the upper chain which begins with suboccipital, postauricular, preauricular, tonsillar, submandibular, and submental in the upper chain. Then in the middle, there are the anterior cervical lymph nodes, the posterior cervical lymph nodes, the deep cervical lymph nodes based on the position of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. In the lower chain of the cervical nodes, we have the supraclavicular lymph node, and in the left side, we have the scalene nodes. We must remember that the GI tract lymphatics drain to the left supraclav lymph nodes, whereas from the thoracic, the lymphatics drain to the right cervical lymph nodes, right supraclavicular. Coming to the lymph nodes in the limbs, in both the upper limbs we have the epitrochlear and the cubital group of lymph nodes. In the lower limb we have the popliteal group of lymph nodes. We have the axillary nodes, which are apical, medial, lateral, anterior and posterior groups. Abdominal lymph nodes usually are not palpable except seen by the radiologist. And then the inguinal group of lymph nodes. The size of the lymph nodes is important. In children between 5 to 15 years, the cervical lymph nodes are often palpable. This is because of their immunological reaction to various viral infections, skin infections, scalp infections. So these may not be that significant during this age group. Then we have the axilla, where even a 3 centimeter lymph node may be not that significant except for repeated skin infection in the axilla. For a radiologist, picking up a lymph node less than 1 centimeter may be difficult in the abdomen. Coming to the feel of the lymph node, usually firm or hard is suspicious of some underlying malignancy, or even a chronic infection. Calcified lymph node can lead to hard consistency, but usually in the infection we have a softer feel. They might be tender also, but even a malignancy which is rapidly increasing, the proliferation rate is very high, there also we might get uncommonly some tenderness. Then there is the middle feeling of a rubbery texture of the lymph node, which is usually seen in lymphoma, and as you all know, matted lymph nodes are seen in the tubercular lymphadenopathy. For the axillary group of lymph nodes, it is very important to examine the breast. For the cervical lymph nodes, it is very important to have a thorough ENT examination. For the inguinal group of lymph nodes, it is also very important to have a per vaginal examination and a per rectal examination. Palpation of neck glands includes suboccipital, postauricular, preauricular, tonsillar, submandibular, and submental. This is the upper chain of nodes. Then we come to the middle part of the neck, the anterior cervical and the posterior cervical, based on the sternocleidomastoid muscle. There are lymph nodes in the lower part of the neck, the supraclavicular, and the difficult to palpate scalene lymph node on the left side. Remember, most of the lymphatic system of the GI tract drain to the left supraclavicular node, and from the thoracic region the lymphatics drain to the right supraclavicular node. Then we come to the axillary lymph nodes. They are apical, medial, lateral, anterior and posterior. These are the lymph nodes in the axilla. Then we examine the abdominal nodes. We look for the hepatosplenomegaly. In the limbs, we look into the epitrochlear and cubital in the upper limb and popliteal in the lower limbs. Then we have the inguinal group of lymph nodes. So these are the lymph nodes in human body that can be palpated. We have 100 lymph nodes, more than that throughout the body. Most of these cannot be palpated, but the superficial cervical, the axillary, the inguinal are the most commonly palpable lymph nodes. If you do a dissection of the size of the lymph nodes, then most of the lymph nodes are beyond 2 centimeter to be palpable, and even then they might not be significant. In the axilla, even 3 centimeter lymph node may not be significant. Lymph node enlargement can occur in the children between 5 to 15 years for various reasons in the cervical group, maybe due to viral infection repeated or infection in the skin, hair. So this is the particular immune system of the children that makes them prone to very much to these palpable lymph nodes. The size of the lymph node is important. The radiologist cannot give a lymph node which is less than 1 centimeter. Hi, Namaste. I am Dr. Madhuchanda Kaur. I practice medical oncology in Kolkata for the last 30 years. Nice meeting you, Mr. Abhishek. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Abhishek Roda, coming from Howrah, and I'm born on 1985.
Okay, Mr. Abhishek, I will be examining your lymphoreticular system today, and for that I will examine your neck, your armpits, your belly, your knees. Have you any problem with that?
No,
Okay, fantastic. Okay. So we now proceed for the examination. So regarding the examination, we will begin with the neck. Neck is a very external area, so it's easy to pick up lymph nodes from this part. And there are chains of lymph nodes in the neck. So let us begin first with the suboccipital, which we do from behind. And we will use very gentle touch with the thumb to look into the suboccipital. We will again use 2 to 3 fingers with the pads for the post-auricular behind the ear. Mr. Abhishek has no lymph nodes in these areas. We will again palpate the pre-auricular lymph nodes with 2 fingers. We can use 3 fingers, whichever is comfortable. Then we go into the examination of lymph nodes below the chin. Yes, Mr. Abhishek, you are comfortable, I hope? Okay. So this is the tonsillar group. We palpate very gently. We must be very gentle with the patients. This is the submandibular below the chin, submandibular group, and then this is not below the chin. This is below the mandible, and here is the lymph node below the chin, that is the submental. Mr. Abhishek does not seem to have any lymph node in this area. So this finishes the upper part of the neck examination. We come to the middle part, and that is all the cervical lymph nodes, the huge chain of lymph nodes in this region. So here is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. You can see. Can you just turn your head on that side? All of you can see the sternocleidomastoid on both sides. So I will be examining the lymph nodes in front of the sternocleidomastoid, and this is the anterior cervical. Can you just bend your neck a bit? Yes. is the anterior cervical group. Then very gently, just behind the sternocleidomastoid, the posterior cervical. Again, if we are lucky, we can do some deep cervical node examination also. On both sides we can do. No, he doesn't seem to have any of the cervical lymph nodes palpable. Then we come to the lower part of the neck examination, and that is the supraclavicular area. You can see here is the clavicle. We have lymph nodes below the clavicle, and we have lymph nodes above the clavicle. So let us see the infraclavicular area. Doesn't have any lymph nodes. Then the supraclavicular area, very important, often missed because they are quite deep. Can you raise your shoulder a bit so that I am able to pick up the lymph nodes if they are there? Okay, he has no supraclavicular. Then there is a scalene node which I can try to pick up with an index finger. Okay, so Mr. Abhishek does not have any palpable lymph nodes in the neck region. So I think we are through for the neck region, and next we will move to the axillary part of the lymphoreticular system, and for that I will be wearing a pair of gloves. Mr. Abhishek, you will examine your armpits. So if you can, relax and put your arms on my hand. Then I will examine certain parts of your armpits. So this is the lateral group, this is the apical group, this is the medial group of axillary nodes, and this is the anterior group. So lateral, apical, medial, anterior. The posterior one I will examine from behind. You can also do a better examination of the lateral group if you keep your arm on the opposite arm of mine, and here I can have a better examination of the lateral group, and I can also examine the epitrochlear lymph nodes. So Mr. Abhishek has none of these lymph nodes palpable. Can I go to the opposite arm? Are you okay?
Yes.
You are comfortable?
Yes.
So here is let's keep it like this. Here is the anterior group. Here is the apical group. Here is the medial group. And if I can change the hand, this is the lateral group of axillary nodes. Now, there are lymph nodes on the posterior part of the axilla also. For that, I think I have to go to the behind and then examine. So, be relaxed. These are the posterior axillary lymph nodes which are sometimes missed by any one of us. So, I think I have examined the axilla thoroughly, and then we will go for the abdominal examination. So Mr. Abhishek, I think I have done more or less all the examination of the upper part of the body. The other one which I would like to show, I will show later on when you lie down. Mr. Abhishek, we will just have a look into your cubital fossa for any lymph nodes. Okay. This. So with the opposite hand usually we see the cubital fossa lymph node. I think we are just through. We have seen that. I will be looking into your liver, spleen. It will take some time. I hope you are not uncomfortable. If you have any discomfort, please tell.
No.
So this is the examination of the liver. Deep breath, please. Deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay. So Mr. Abhishek has a normal liver span, but we can do some percussion to find out liver dullness. So he has no hepatomegaly. Then we go diagonally for the spleen. Take breath in and out. In and out. We can't find any splenic notch. Can you just turn around towards me? And insinuate my hand to find out if there is any splenomegaly. So, Mr. Abhishek does not have any splenomegaly or any palpable spleen. So, this completes the abdominal examination for lymphoreticular system. You can fold your legs now. I would also like to see whether there are any abdominal nodes palpable, but usually there are very small nodes which are not actually possible to be picked up on this type of superficial examination. But if it is a huge abdominal lump, we can pick it up. If there is a conglomeration of lymph node mass, then we can pick it up. Okay, fine. We go to the inguinal region. If you take the umbilicus and the anterior superior iliac spine, then in the midway we start the examination of the inguinal region. You know that umbilicus and symphysis pubis will be quite in the same line. So we see the inguinal nodes. So this is the inguinal region. Can you come towards me a bit? This is the right side. We also look into the left side. Again, the umbilicus and the anterior superior iliac spine. This is the line of the symphysis. So in between. Fortunately, Mr. Abhishek does not have any inguinal nodes also. So we come to the last part of the examination of the lymph nodes, and that is the popliteal fossa. Can you hold your legs, please? So we have to be very deep into it. We put our both thumbs on the patella and examine this. This is the examination of the left patellar fossa. Keep your thumb on the patella and just examine this. I think this is also free of any lymph node enlargement. Okay. Here is another lady who has come to visit me with some problem behind the knee, feeling of heaviness. So I am examining her. I am examining her popliteal fossa. I have kept my thumb on her patella. Are you okay? See. And this lady has got a lymph node in the popliteal fossa. That's why she is getting some problem behind the knee when she is walking. On the right patellar fossa, there is a lymph node. I go to the left patellar fossa. There is no lymph node here. So it's a unilateral lymph node on the left patellar fossa. Are you okay? Thank you. So this completes the examination of the lymphoreticular system. We began with the cervical region, suboccipital, postauricular, preauricular, tonsillar, submandibular and submental. So these were the upper cervical nodes. Then we came to the middle part. In front of the sternomastoid, we had the anterior cervical. Behind the sternomastoid, we had the posterior cervical. We tried to palpate the deep cervical also. Then we came down below the neck, where we try to palpate the supraclavicular. On the left side, the scalene node with the tip of the index finger, infraclavicular. Then we went on to examine the axillary group of lymph nodes on both sides: anterior axillary, medial axillary, apical axillary, lateral axillary on both sides. We went from behind to examine the posterior axillary nodes. Then we examined the liver and spleen for hepatomegaly and splenomegaly. We tried to find out whether there was any conglomeration of abdominal nodes leading to any abdominal lump. We went to examine both the inguinal nodes, both regions of the inguinum. The inguinal nodes are there between the anterior superior iliac spine and the umbilicus. Midway we started examination. And last but not the least, in the limbs we examined the epitrochlear, cubital in both upper limbs and popliteal in both lower limbs. And this completes the entire examination of the lympho-reticular system. So, thank you. I hope it will be beneficial to the teachers and students of medicine.